Well, you slap the sanctions back on China, the tariffs, if you find them, the extra tariffs, if they don't fulfill what they said they would do.
I have the right to do that. But people don't realize I still have the 25% tariffs on China, on $250 billion worth of goods. I still have those. And by the way, remember they used to say we pay for it? No. China devalued their currency and they pay for it. And we have a great relationship with China right now. So I don't want to speak badly of anyone, but they are having the worst year that they've had. Last year was the worst year they had in 67. It was 57. Now it's 67 years. And they wanted to make a deal, and we made a deal. And it's a great deal. Now we have a phase 2 deal, which will start at some point. But phase 1 was very important for banking. You know what we did? We opened it up to banking. But for banking, for our farmers, for manufacturers, it's a great
If China, though, is...
We have a lot of these deals that I've made. South Korea, Japan is...
I've documented all of this.
We have all
no one else has touched it.
Remember this. They're all kicking in now. We didn't have anything. We had horrible deals or no deal. The Japan deal, we had no deal. We're getting $40 billion. What this is going to do for our economy is going to be amazing. And it's just now, it was just signed a month ago. It's just now kicking.
On the human rights issue in China, you don't talk a lot about it, but it concerns a lot of your strongest supporters, evangelical Christians, Catholics, other people who are really concerned about human rights. We've got 1 million people in re-education camps, internment camps, Catholics getting missiles in their pews at Christmas that had tributes to Xi instead of Silent Night. Crazy stuff happening. Reagan saw the power of the moral argument for freedom and married it to the economic and military argument for peace through strength. Can you do more on that front without damaging your ability to make future trade agreements? More on the human rights,
Well, I'm riding
a
fine line because we're making not good trade deals, we're making great trade deals.
But human rights count.
They do count. And when you say Reagan, look, I was a big fan of Reagan, but he wasn't heavy into it. He wanted to do certain things. He wasn't really heavy into it. But he wasn't also making trade deals. He let Japan come in and take our automobile market. You know, as much as I like Reagan, he was not good on trade.
Well, he didn't trade with the Soviet Union at all. We didn't have a big bunch of students from the Soviet Union coming to the United States.
With Russia. I think we should be able. I think getting along, by the way, getting along with Russia, now that the witch hunt has ended having to do with Russia, now that they spent $45 million, found nothing.
Mr. President, when you look at the trajectory of your administration, huge progress on trade, incredible progress on dealing with our political foes, ISIS, incredible deregulation, judges. You've done a lot. On the economy today, we found out that, still added 146,000 jobs. Unemployment historically low at 3.5%. But we do have a little bit of a stall out on wage growth, which you ran on, and we've seen some, 2.9% last year, 0.1% over last month. But we don't have a tight labor market. If we had a tight labor market, we'd be seeing real increases in wages. Yeah. I hear that your team is planning on advocating more foreign workers coming in for some of these high-tech companies. So I'm very concerned about that, as are a lot of your supporters.
And so is Mark Levin a little bit.
Yeah, we're concerned because Americans, you ran on America
Lou Dobbs is concerned too. But I'll say, Lou, here's the problem. I'm demanding that Japan and all these companies, the countries that have these massive, we have trade deficits like nobody's ever seen before. I say, you got to open up. I call Prime Minister Abe, he's a friend of mine, I say, Shinzo, you got to open up more plants in the United States. And they tell me, we want to do it, we want to do it. They start opening. They can't get labor. We need help. Otherwise, we could just say, don't open up.
If they couldn't get labor, wages would be going up. Wages aren't going up. Not in the high-tech industry. We're seeing a plateauing of wages.
They wanted 3%, and it went up 2.9%. In the last 2 years, wages have gone up more than they have in 25 years.
But for Google, why reward Google? Google's working against you in this
I don't want to reward Google.
Those guys
I'm not a fan.
All they want is low-skilled workers,
I'm not a fan of Google, but I'm a fan of great companies, okay?
You didn't run on bringing more foreign workers into the United States.
It's not foreign workers. We have to allow smart people to stay in our country. You graduate #1 in your class at Harvard. You graduate from the Wharton School of Finance.
No, it's
not. It's a lot.
But you ran on people training their foreign replacements. That you ran against that. Americans, it's humiliating for an American worker, worked for a company for 30 years. Now it's told you got to train your foreign replacement who's going to live in Korea and you're going to pay him 20%.
No, that's different. I would never do that. But we do need workers in our country. And I do want an immigration policy. Nobody's been better on immigration than me. By the way, we won the funding for the wall, and the wall's been built anyway because I was taking it out of the military, everything else. And now it's easier. We need people. I got Foxconn to go into Wisconsin. They have to get people. They spent a fortune. They built the most incredible plant I've ever seen. In Wisconsin, Foxconn, they make all the Apple stuff.
Why shouldn't we have American graduates of colleges and universities taking those jobs?
We do, but we don't have enough of them. We don't have enough of them. And we have to be competitive with the rest of the world, too. The companies want to hire these people, and
they want to hire people they can hire for the cheapest amount because that's what they want.
I'm not talking about cheap. I'm talking about brain power. No. They want to hire smart people, and those people are thrown out of the country. No. We can't do that.
Well, you ran on America first.
No, this is America first.
All right, I'm going to keep
excuse me, I just have to finish this. Yeah. If we tell smart people to get the hell out, that's not what we're saying. That's a bad thing.
There's a never-ending appetite on the part of corporate America to bring in as much cheap labor as possible to drive down wages.
Laura, I have so many companies coming into this country. You're not going to have to worry about it. It's always going to be a shortage. If somebody's smart sitting in this position, we have so many companies coming in from Japan. Japan's doing many car companies. China now is going to start building a lot of things here. You know, they haven't been doing it too much. We have so many companies wanting to come in, and they don't have the labor, but they're coming in. We're doing great. Our country's doing great. Our economy's doing great.